find it.
If you cannot find it, you can send me the link to your YouTube video or whatever interview, and you send it to me through the chat room. All right?
Sorry, I was distracted. Can you repeat it again?
Sure. Whenever you start sharing, there's a small box that says incluir audio del sistema. You need to check that. And if you cannot see it and you cannot share, you can send me the link through the chat, and I can share the video with the rest of the class.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the audio that I took it from. I searched it from YouTube, but then I closed it. I only have the transcription.
Okay, all right. And do you want to show the video, or you're just going to do the analysis?
The analysis.
Okay. Go on.
You can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Okay. So the first four consonant sounds are D, O, N, and T, and all of them are alveolar. D is plosive and also voiced. L is O2, it's liquid, and it is voiced too because we can feel a vibration in our throat when we say the consonant. And is nasal and voiced. It is nasal because when we spell it, when we produce it, we can notice air through the nose and also the mouth. And T is plosive and voiceless because there's no vibration when we are producing it. Right? The next two consonant sounds are initial, and they're K and G. Anybody can tell me why are they velar?
Because you raise the back of the tongue to the soft palate or the velum.
Thank you.
Okay.
Both of them are too plosive because when we produce them, sorry, there's like a stop of air. I don't know if I'm explaining all right. Okay. And K is voiceless because there's no vibration on the throat, and G is voiced because there's a vibration. The next two others consonant sounds are V and F, which both of them are labiodental. And what this mean?
That
we use our lip in our teeth to produce the sound?
Yes, thank you. And they are fricative because um, the airflow is severely obstructed, and we produce some friction. As you can see here, this is the upper teeth, and this is the lower teeth, and they have to be together when we are producing them. N V is voiced, and F is voiceless. The consonant sound B is bilabial, which means we use both both lips to produce it. It is plosive and voiceless. The sound um, uh, in this case for performance is alveolar because there we raised our tongue to the alveolar ridge, and it is voiceless. The sound is alveolar too because we also raised our tongue to the alveolar ridge. It is liquid because there's an obstruction of air, and it is voiced. I don't know what happened. The sound for finished is palatal. Can some of you tell me what palatal means?
Me? Palatals are the sound that contraction occurs but raising in the front part of the tongue
Mm-hmm. Thank
to
you.
the palate.
Mm-hmm. It is fricative too because the airflow is severely obstructed, and also and as I said before, there's some friction produced, and it is voiceless. And that's the end.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate the lesson, teacher. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
Good job. Very clear. Very, very clear. You showed command in what you were saying. So this is the gift that I'm sending you. Okay. Now let's see if we have any other volunteer to make it as good as Vanessa did. Shall we go for the? It's another Russian roulette, right? It's just a wheel. All right. Pablo Rojas, are you here, Pablo? Mr. Rojas is not here. He came to take the quiz. Okay, maybe he thought it was graded, but actually it was just a formative, a practice quiz, right? Let's see who's next. Camila Jorquera, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Would you like to share your analysis?
Okay.
Alrighty. Go for it. You become the teacher now. Let me know if you need any help, right?
Okay. You can see?
Yes.
Ay,
We can see your
esperen
desktop.
The PowerPoint.
Not yet.
Wait a minute, please. No sé cómo poder compartirlo porque yo lo puedo ver.
So you're sharing the screen just like you know, with the three dots. No, wait a minute. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay. I chose Shrek for this homework. And we are going to watch the video. You can see the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, but I'm not really good with technology. Mister, you can share my video. I send you the link.
Sure, right now. I'm just waiting for the message. I mean, the
Okay.
link.
I send you the link. Mister?
Listen, little donkey. Take a look at me. What am I? Really tall? No! I'm an ogre. You know, grab your torch and pitchforks. Doesn't that bother you? Nope. Really? Really, really. Oh, man, I like you. What's your name? Shrek. Shrek? Well, you know what I like about you, Shrek? You got that kind of, I don't care what. Hey, I like that. I respect that, Shrek. You all right. Woo, look at that. You want to live in a place?
Do you want me to repeat it, or is that fine?
If some classmates we want to see again, for me it's great.
Little donkey, take a look at me. What am I? Really tall? No! I'm an ogre. You know, grab your torch and pitchforks. Doesn't that bother you? Nope. Really? Really, really. Oh, man, I like you. What's your name? Shrek. Shrek? Well, you know what I like about you, Shrek? You got that kind of, I don't care what nobody thinks of me thing. I like that. I respect that, Shrek. You all right.
Back to you.
Can you see the PowerPoint?
No.
Not yet.
Um, now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. The first consonant is G, and it's velar, voiced, and plosive. Can someone tell me if this consonant has an oral or nasal sound, please?
It has an oral sound.
Okay, thank you so much. The second one is U, but it's not this letter. It's G. And it's palatal, voiced, and fricative. The next one is T. It's alveolar, voiceless, and plosive. And it's an oral sound. M is bilabial, voiced, plosive, and nasal sounds. The next one is L. It's alveolar, voiced, and liquids. Can someone tell me because this consonant is liquids, please?
Because it is produced like an obstruction of the airstream, but not a totally obstruction.
Great, thank you. The next one is P, and this one is bilabial, voiceless, plosive. And can someone tell me if this consonant has an oral or nasal sound?
It is an oral sound.
Thank you so much. And the next one is K, and this is velar, voiceless, plosive, and oral sound. The next one is B, and is labiodental, voiced, and fricative. The next one is N, and is alveolar, voiced, stop, and is a nasal sound. The next one is F, and it is labiodental, voiced, plosive, and also is a oral sound. This is in, and is velar, voiced, and stops. And can someone tell me if this consonant has an oral or nasal sound, please?
It's a nasal sound.
Thank you, Patricio. The next one is V, and it is interdental, voiced, and fricative. Can someone tell me why this consonant is fricative? If nobody knows, I can tell you. Nobody?
Because is there a friction when it's produced?
Yes, thank you so much. The next one is woo, and it's glidis and voiced. Can someone tell me if it's an oral or nasal sound?
It's an oral sound.
Thank you so much. The next one is B. It is bilabial, voiced, and plosive. And also it's oral sound. S is alveolar, voiceless, and fricative. And finally, we have R, and is alveolar, voiced, and fricative. Some questions? No?
No.
No. No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camila, so much for your analysis. You have a very interesting spark when you are teaching your classmates. Lots of energy and very, very engaging. All right, so congratulations on that, on your pedagogical energy, to put it a name.
Thank you, Mister.
All right. Some short, brief remarks. Remember, the pronunciation is voiced. Okay, voiced. Remember, yeah, voiced. Bilabel.
Bilabel.
Exactly. And when you're talking about sounds, for example, you talk about or f. When you're talking about the letter, you say the letter R and the letter F. So let's not get confused with the letters. For example, the letters R and F, and the sounds and
are different. Yes,
I
I
don't know if
wrote that,
I'm. Go
but
on.
I'm feeling nervous, so I forget.
That's right. And I mean they are just really small details. All right, because the lesson was very interesting, very interactive. So these are just very small details. All right.
Okay.
So congratulations again, Camila. So class. Um, we have two options. We can have one more phonemic analysis on the consonant, okay? Or we can have some speaking practice. Now, the speaking practice, I would like you to do it first on your own, meaning that you could take up the the rest of the class to work on the websites that I'm copying and pasting in the chat room. And the idea would be that you focus on these specific consonant sounds because they are not part of the Spanish repertoire, basically. That's all I could say. And therefore, we need to focus on them and we need to practice as much as possible. The first website, they're all the same website, but the first two sounds are sh and j, right? Sh and j. And if you remember these website, we have already worked on this website before. You can listen to, let me start over with the sharing, just to include the sound this time. So you can hear.
Invasion. Treasure. Measure.
So in general, I think Spanish speakers, we tend to produce the sound j as sh. We tend not to produce the voiced sound j, but to produce the voiceless sh. because both of them are palatals, both of them are fricatives, right? The only difference between these two is the voicing. We tend to produce voiceless sh and not j. So that's why I encourage you to practice this. So for instance,
invasion,
invasion and not invasion.
treasure,
Treasure instead of treasure, right?
measure,
Measure instead of measure, okay? So
genre,
genre, I mean,
occasion,
so the idea is for you to listen.
she is measuring the size of her waist.
Okay, the idea is to listen as many times as you want and then proceed to repeat a couple of times to get the pronunciation, particularly the voicing in this particular phoneme. Okay.
a thermometer measures temperature,
Okay, measures, and then you get sentence practice below with the two sounds sh and j. What is your final decision? And then you get paragraph, right? And finally, you get to an exercise in which you need to find in which words these sounds are present, these phonemes are present. Okay, both sh and j. And this is a structure that you get in all of the websites, in not only the ones that I just showed you, but also with ch and j, the same thing. You get some examples, you get to hear, right? And particularly this one's, it happens the same. We have ch and j, j, ch and j are both of them affricate, right? Affricate sounds, right? Both of them are fricative, and voicing is the difference. So I would say go and practice the voiced one, the voiced sound.
bridge,
Judge,
And go on and listen to the sentences. I know we have done this before, but it's a good way to keep practicing the same structure, sentences later, right? A paragraph, and then finally um, explore and find out which of these words include the sounds. Particularly focus on the voiced sound. And the same thing for the two phonemes, z and s. Try to practice and focus on the voiced one, right? And try to make difference between this one and the other one.
zero, music,
rise,
dessert,
lazy,
Okay, the idea now is that you can take some of your time to practice with this sounds, with these phonemes on your own. Next time we are going to have some practice, and the idea is that I'm going to use some of these words. Some of these words are going to be part of next quizzes, and so there's a high probability that we might have a quiz later on this next week, depending on, of course, the all the context and circumstances. Because I understand that there is the possibility of a strike at some point, and therefore the context, of course, changes. But I'm going to keep uploading a material for you to practice. I'm going to upload this quiz at some point, which is a writing formative quiz. That the idea here is that you're going to read the transcription and you need to type the sentence in English, in plain English. For example, in this one, I. What else do you think comes next?
Heard.
Perfect. Heard.
An explosion last night.
Explosion last night, and that's the exercise. Okay, and then you're going to find maybe a longer statement like this one, and you're going to work on this. Let's finish this one as the last exercise for this session. All right, let's do this together.
Mary was
Okay.
Very hungry.
so she decided to treat
To
herself
try herself.
To try herself.
The
How do you spell treat?
TRE.
treat.
T-R-E.
AT.
A-T, all right.
Herself some sushi.
To some.
Mr. is to some or not? To treat herself to some?
Anything else? Anything missing? To treat herself to some
Sushi.
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 Anything else? So then you hit comprobar and then you hit on next page. And that's the idea with this writing quiz, okay? So I'm going to upload this writing quiz to the LMS for you to practice, not with a grade, but just as a formative quiz, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So I encourage you to check out the LMS to find for formative quizzes. I encourage you to do the formative quizzes because I'm going to use the same format for the graded quizzes, okay? The ones that are coming. I encourage you to go and visit the website that I posted in the chat room, but also other websites in which you can find additional material. The idea is try to listen as much as possible, expose yourself to different accents, and try to imitate the speakers, right? It doesn't matter if the speaker is a British guy or not, or a British girl. It could be from any dialect or with any accent, okay? The idea is that you keep practicing, keep listening, and remember that at this point of the semester, even though that the focus is on consonant sounds, and it's going to be the main focus, right? We're still recycling the previous learning outcomes, meaning vowel sounds, right? Monophthongs, diphthongs, and triphthongs. Okay, so the point is keep on your toes, right? Keep practicing, and we're going to have more analysis or phonemic analysis next class, depending on if you are ready with them and if you want to show them. Remember that this specific exercise is not only about showing how much you know about describing consonant sounds, but also the idea is that you try to explore your pedagogical side and you try to explore how you feel teaching others and trying to interacting and teaching your peers. Okay, it's This activity has many layers. It's not just repeating, you know, voiceless, plosive, I don't know, over and over again, all right? But trying to combine this, which might be a bit dry or a boring way, with more interacting activities or interactive activities. Thank you for your attention, and I'll be seeing you on Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday. Wednesday, and we're gonna have some practice. So we're going to do some fun exercises, all right, with the tongue, and you know, to relax first before we start. I remember a teacher told me some tricks, and then it's really fun to look at people doing. Unfortunately, I usually don't see you. It's just you seeing me. So let's see how it works. Okay. So see you on Wednesday. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.